Parliamentary consideration of statutory instruments. Let's look at the Joint Committee on Statutory Instruments first. Most statutory instruments subject to parliamentary procedure are examined by the Joint Committee on Statutory Instruments. The Joint Committee has the service of counsel to the Speaker and the Lord Chairman of Committee available during its deliberations. They may, like other select committees, take oral or written evidence, but only from the responsible government department on instruments they are considering. Some SIs, for example local orders not laid before the Parliament, are not scrutinized by either committee. Other instruments which are not technically SIs but which may need an affirmative resolution, such as reports on local government's finance special grants, draft codes of practice which have legislative effect, and orders subject to special parliamentary procedure under the Statutory Orders, Special Procedure Acts of 1945 and 46 are examined. The most important thing to remember is that these committees do not consider the merits of any SI. They are responsible for ensuring that a minister's powers are being carried out in accordance with the provisions of the Enabling Act. They report to the House any instance where the authority of the Act has been exceeded, or any which reveal an unusual or unexpected use of the powers, or have been drafted defectively, or where the instrument might require further explanation. These reports are printed as House of Commons and House of Lords papers and are available on the websites of the two committees. Now let's examine the Secondary Legislation Scrutiny Committee. The Secondary Legislation Scrutiny Committee was first appointed on December 2003. Its work complements that of the Joint Committee on Statutory Instruments. The committee's task is to review the policy implications of SIs. Its remit is to consider whether the attention of the House of Lords be drawn to an SI on any of the following grounds. The instrument is politically or legally significant. It may have become inappropriate in view of changed circumstances since the enactment of the Parent Act. The instrument may inappropriately implement European Union legislation. The instrument may imperfectly achieve its policy objectives. Like the JCSI, the committee meets weekly. The committee plays more of an advisory role as well as alerting the House of Lords to any interesting instruments or instruments on which there may be concerns. Finally, we will examine the House of Lords Delegated Powers Scrutiny Committee. This committee was established in 1992. The committee keeps under constant review the extent to which Parliament delegates legislative powers to government ministers. The committee also examines all bills with delegating powers which allow SIs to be made before they begin their passage through the House. There is an informal understanding in the Lords that when the Delegated Powers Committee has approved provisions in a bill for delegated powers, the form of those powers should not normally be the subject of debate during the bill's subsequent passage. The House of Commons has no equivalent committee.